bike here.
Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. I'm trying to film this monkey, but something's distracting me, and it's that monkey over there. So I've got two of them side by side, both owned by the same guy in Malaysia. Yes, I am in Malaysia. That's a Malaysian wall. There's some Malaysian sky. And yeah, it's just going to be really exciting to showcase the differences between these monkeys. They're both stock engine-wise, but this one's set up for touring, and they've got a few cool modifications that you may not expect. But anyway, let's kick straight into it. Engine first. Well, here we are, engine. This is a Honda 125 PGM FI, 4-speed, 1 down, 3 up. And this thing here has a couple of additions, which we'll talk about in the modifications or the differences or the quirky parts section of the video. But yeah, 125, they put out about 9 horsepower. They're fine. They do a really good job, and the owner of this is a lot lighter than me, so you know he gets a lot more usage of the power than I do when I'm riding such bikes. If you come around to the side here, you'll notice you've got the shifter down the bottom. So yeah, it's a full manual. You've got your clutch lever up here, and basically it's just a Honda 125. It does have a lot of trick bits on it, but the engine capacity is standard. All right, so here we have the controls. So you've got your speedometer here. Now I don't have the keys for this one, so we'll have a look on the other speedo, but you've got your set and select options. So basically you can set your clock and change different things like your trip meter on the speedo. Fairly normal. This thing here has a kill switch, as you would expect, and your electric start as well. You've got your front brake up here, which has had a lever change with some nice adjustable levers there, and your clutch obviously has a matching lever on the left side. One thing I do like about this is it's got the pass switch block, which doesn't come stock on the monkeys, but this has been added. You've got your horn and turn signals, which are not obviously auto cancelling, but you push in the middle there and you're all good to go. Actually, I lie, the pass is standard, I think, possibly, but the hazard lights definitely aren't. If you want to argue about that in the comments, please do. I'd be glad to know what a stock original monkey looks like. I've ridden a few of them. There's another one on the channel, but I don't have time right now to quickly go and check. So this is all you get. Anyway, hazard light has been a really, really cool feature. We rode 2,500, 2,600 Ks alongside this monkey recently in Malaysia. And, you know, we had a couple of instances we needed to stop on the side of the road, and just having the hazard lights going was really helpful. The tail light has a G-Craft cover on it. So yeah, your brake and your foot brake operate the tail light, which is kind of cool. I don't know if that would be legal in New Zealand because it's kind of covering a little part of it, but it's 100% fine over here. Controls, we've got the standard shifter. So the standard shifter, 1 down, 3 up. Over to this side, we've got a cool addition, which is the footprint brake pedal, which I really, really do like. More surface area, just kind of nicer to rest your foot near. You don't really want to rest your foot on it because you just burn your back brakes out, but hey, it's another cool feature. The headlights have a spotlight attached to them here. Now these are technically not permitted in Malaysia, but you know, it's not something that's uncommon to see as well. You've also got a grille covering the headlight here, which is kind of a custom feature, but because it's part of the control that's behind it, we will talk about it. Well set up, standard turn signals, nothing much has changed there. I mean, these bikes are set up so well from the factory, you don't need to change a dramatic amount. Wheels, so these have just got standard front and rear rims, so they're a 12-inch wheel. This has got a 130/70/12 on it, and it's a Pirelli Angel scooter tire. The owner of this bike is really into his Pirellis, and they are a really, really nice tire. You know, he's leaning over a fairly decent way, but this is used for a lot of highway riding. This thing did a 28-day trip from Malaysia into the border of northern Thailand and all the way back again. And you know, these Pirelli Angel scooter tires, you might be used to the Angel Demon if you ride bigger bikes. Yeah, they do the job. They're really grippy. You've got a 120/70/12 on the front as well, as you can see there. So yeah, stock wheels front and rear. You've got your standard disc brake on the front. This is non-ABS, and then on the rear we've got a disc as well, non-ABS. All right, to finish the showcase here before we get on to the next one, let's talk about all the custom things. So what's not custom? The exhaust is standard, the seat is standard, the tank's standard, the headlights are standard, but a lot of other things are changed. The engine capacity is standard, but we've got cool things like these crash bars have been added. Crash bars are really useful and proved themselves to be an epic addition when we went over some very, very rutty, muddy roads, and this thing was kind of sinking into all the holes there. It's just small wheels, so yeah, you don't get the whole 17 inches of diameter that I do on, say, a Honda Wave. But yeah, the crash bars are a really nice addition. Foot plate, we've got more cooling fins on the side of the engine. We've had the oil dipstick changed as well. One of the most fancy things that I like about this is got Öhlins front and rear, genuine Öhlins suspension, front and rear. I don't know if you can see that cap there, if it's going to focus on it. Can we make it focus? Dun, 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 dun. No. But yeah, Öhlins there. And we've got a lovely set of Öhlins here on the rear. Now, following this bike for an extensive part of the trip that I was doing, it was really awesome to see these things working as they should. You know, they're well dialed in for the lighter rider. And yeah, my gosh, I couldn't believe how well they operated. So we've got a rear rack here, which is made for the Gibby top box. He runs a really big top box, I think like 38 or 42 litres. That there is a camera. We've got another camera up the front there, essentially a dash cam. So there's dash cam front and rear view, which is really, really awesome and does provide this rider with an added element of safety. You know, if anything happens or there was an incident, he can boom, hit a button, record that last section or keep the recording of that last section, and he's good to go. We've got a Motion J front basket up here, which as we rode proved to be very strong and very receptive to large loads of gear or drinks or food or whatever you wanted in the top here. Got bark busters on here. We've got a mount for a Insta360 here. We've also got our quad lock mount here with a charger mounted here. Gataco brake reservoir cover. Another bark buster on this side. And another thing I really like is this side rack here. So this side rack allows a big pannier bag here, which, well, it does the job. There's also a clear cover here, which is kind of covering the stator nut. And these horns, there's one here and one on the front. They're really loud and they proved their use when we were traveling through southern Thailand and there was a few trucks being a bit hectic. They just, you know, kept us safe. But we've also got a little connector here, and if you own a motorcycle, you know what that's for. It's a trickle charger. So yeah, there's a trickle charger attachment there just to keep the battery tended and topped up as needed. Not that they run flat, but hey, it's better to have that than not have it. Okay, and since we've seen the yellow one, let's go and compare it to the blue one, which is much more stock. It does have the Öhlins front and rear, so you've got Öhlins here and you've got Öhlins on the back as well. We've got the foot brake here as well, but we've got this undercowling kind of, which changes the entire look. If I can get these things both in the frame side by side, you see how that cowling there on the front of the blue one just kind of turns it into a lot more of a classic sporty look, whereas it kind of looks like there's a bit more empty space up on this one here because of the stock pipe, which does wrap round back on itself. And you know, after time, if you own one of these, you'll know they discolor like that one has. So hiding that is cool. It's it kind of means that you can't see it, and I mean, does it matter if you can see the exhaust? No. It just kind of gives it a bit more of a complete look. Some people take these off and put a pod filter system on them, or like kind of a ram air intake, and they're okay, but they leave a lot of empty space. So I actually do like the stock air filters on these. The other main difference here is that this thing has a different rack setup on the rear, fairly solid rack, and then on the front as well, you've got the official Monkey rack. All bikes in Malaysia need to have their plate listed on the front of it somewhere, and the most logical place for these is right here on the front guard. So SME 9880, and this one is Malaysia 954. The owner of this bike did not get that custom plate. It was on it when he bought it. He bought this slightly secondhand. So they're both 2018 and 2019, I believe. You might think the Monkey is just for fun, but this thing here, I'll put some footage in of it now, was crossing rivers, going up dirt hills, going through undulations and incredible terrain that you just probably wouldn't expect to see the Monkey do. And it was doing it on these Pirelli sport tires or road tires. These are the stock tires here, obviously non-ABS as well, but these are the stock tires that you've got, which is just kind of a V-rubber dual sport. It's a bit old, this tire here. This bike doesn't actually get a dramatic amount of use. This is more the one that's parked up and just ridden around the block every now and then or down to the shop, whereas this one here gets an extreme amount of distance on it. So yeah, some Honda Monkeys in Malaysia. One thing I didn't mention at the start is that these are incredibly rare. Only 300 came into the country, and now these are fetching about 30,000 ringgit for a Honda Monkey. So do a currency conversion to whatever currency you use, it's a lot more than they are worth in my country. But yeah, that's what you get. A lot of people actually don't know what they are here, I've noticed as well. When we go out, people are like, what is this? Oh wow, a Monkey. I didn't realize they existed. Because yeah, they, despite having a big Honda scene here, although Yamaha is superior in Malaysia with sales, these are made in the Thai factory, so they didn't really get a dramatic amount. It was a special import, as I say, 300 of them, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see them up here in person. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of Small Bike Stuff. That one has the key in it.
This is much more clear without scratches. So you get a bling.
Yeah, let's turn it on. epic. Yeah, that looks really cool. Yeah. That's awesome. How many kilometers has this one done?
Ooh.
But it's hard, the speedo reads a bit high, so it will technically be a little bit higher, but look at that blinking. That's a trip. 32,882.
Yeah.
I don't have any footage of me riding this one. I do have footage of me riding another monkey, which you can go look at on the channel. Hopefully it's recommended on your screen about now. Otherwise, have a look in the description and you'll be able to go see that video. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching this episode of Small Bike Stuff with a dual monkey session.